Tonight, you're not in your bedroom. You find yourself gently drifting, floating across an endless ocean of darkness, surrounded by a silence as ancient as eternity itself. And then, softly, a voice pierces through the quiet calm. Deep, infinitely tender, let there be light. Suddenly, warmth washes over you. You sense a radiant glow seeping gently into your skin, touching every part of your being. It's like breathing for the first time, pure, luminous, life-giving. The shadows melt away, and in this moment, everything begins. You are about to witness something beautiful, something sacred, the birth of humanity itself, woven delicately by hands that painted stars and breathed galaxies into existence. You will watch as dust becomes breath, and breath becomes life. You will walk silently through the lush garden of the first morning, hearing the whispers of the Creator as he forms the hearts destined to beat in harmony with his own dot. As you prepare for this sacred journey, take a slow, deep breath. Feel the gentle rhythm of life guiding you deeper into peace. Where are you listening from tonight? I read every comment, and if this kind of storytelling speaks to your heart, you're welcome to join us. Just tap subscribe before you drift off. You feel the warmth of divine radiance enveloping you, guiding you gently into a timeless place. Around you, there is only calm, the soft whisper of divine intention threading through the stillness. Slowly, your vision clears, and you witness a world taking shape from the quiet pulse of infinite love. The earth emerges gently, spreading beneath you like a tapestry woven by celestial hands. Mountains rise gracefully, crowned by clouds. Rivers flow peacefully, their waters glistening like threads of liquid silver, nourishing the earth as they carve out valleys lush with promise. You feel each heartbeat of creation, a gentle rhythm that mirrors the quiet rise and fall of your own breath. And in this rhythm, you hear again the voice, now clearer, closer, as it shapes the universe with intention and tenderness. Let us make mankind in our image. The voice whispers gently into the endless expanse, and something within you stirs. With profound recognition, slowly, carefully, divine hands gather the dust from the earth, a humble material, simple and pure. With infinite care and boundless love, he shapes a form, graceful and noble. The form lies still upon the soft earth, waiting patiently. You sense an intimate silence, a moment suspended delicately between eternity and time. And then the Creator draws near, his presence radiating gentle power. He leans close, his breath like a soft breeze filled with life itself. Breathe, he whispers, and his breath flows gently into the still form. Suddenly, lungs fill for the very first time, eyes open, blinking slowly in wonder. The form becomes a living soul, beautifully alive. You see him clearly, now Adam, the first of humanity. His eyes shine with the innocence of a soul newly born, full of gentle curiosity and deep, trusting wonder. Adam rises slowly, carefully testing his limbs, feeling the earth beneath his feet for the first time. He stretches out his hand, feeling the air move gently between his fingers. His first breath is deep, peaceful, full of gratitude and wonder. The Creator watches, a gentle smile on his face, radiating pride and love. He approaches Adam, his presence comforting and reassuring, wrapping him in warmth like a cloak of eternal peace. Welcome, Adam, the Creator speaks, his voice soft, filled with warmth. Adam looks up into the face of infinite kindness, and something inside him relaxes. He is home. In the tranquil hush of the garden, you hear the faint murmur of water. Nearby, birds softly singing their first gentle melodies. The trees whisper their quiet approval, leaves rustling gently, breathing life alongside Adam. "Come, my child," the Creator says gently. "Let me show you the garden I've prepared for you." As Adam takes his first steps, you feel yourself walking. Beside him, each footfall soft and deliberate, the cool grass beneath your feet tender and welcoming. Your breath matches his calm, steady, peaceful. You realize you're not merely observing, you're feeling the gentle embrace of creation, itself a participant in the first sacred moments of life. Around you, the garden unfolds in serene beauty. The trees bear fruit in abundance, their branches heavy with blessings. The air is rich with fragrance, carrying the sweet scent of blossoms opening softly, gracefully welcoming Adam's arrival. As you move deeper into the garden, following Adam and the Creator, you feel an indescribable sense of belonging. Your soul finds rest here, in this place crafted from pure love. Every heartbeat echoes softly with gratitude. Ahead, the Creator pauses beside a peaceful stream, its water sparkling like crystal beneath the gentle sunlight. He turns to Adam, placing a tender hand upon his shoulder, speaking quietly, "All of this is yours, Adam. You shall care for it and be cared for. Here you shall thrive, finding peace and joy." Adam gazes around him, eyes wide with wonder. The garden hums quietly, a soft lullaby that wraps gently around him and around you. But you are not alone, the Creator whispers, his voice filled with promise. There is yet another heart to beat alongside yours, another soul drawn from your own who will walk beside you, share your joys, your silence, your prayers. As the Creator speaks, you sense a gentle anticipation rising, a quiet joy stirring within Adam. He nods softly, his heart ready, open to this promise. "Rest now, Adam," the Creator whispers gently, guiding him softly onto the cool grass, beside the gentle murmur of the stream. "Rest and dream of the heart that will soon awaken beside your own." Adam closes his eyes, his breathing slow and even, trusting completely in the warmth of divine care. You feel your own body relaxing, sinking deeper into peace as the gentle rhythm of creation lulls you softly toward restful sleep. Tonight, your dreams will echo with the whispers of Eden, as you await the dawn and the moment Eve will awaken. You drift deeper into this sacred hush, where the first man sleeps beneath a canopy of gentle leaves, their shadows dancing lightly upon his resting form. The garden breathes around him, alive with the heartbeat of its Creator, every blossom and blade of grass whispering secrets of beginnings yet to come. The air is warm, scented with the sweetness of flowering vines. A gentle stream murmurs nearby, its voice soft and eternal, like a lullaby wrapping around Adam's dreams. You stand, close, feeling the hush of this moment, a silence so deep it hums with promise. Then, from within Adam's side, you sense a stirring. The Creator, ever tender, lays his hand upon the slumbering man. He does not tear nor harm. He simply draws out a piece of living bone, a fragment of Adam's very being. The garden holds its breath as this sacred work unfolds. You watch as he shapes the fragment with the same infinite care that formed Adam from dust. The Creator's breath, warm and full of life, weaves around the new form like a veil of light. Slowly, delicately, the shape of a woman emerges, graceful, strong, her presence like the soft glow of dawn breaking over a quiet land. You sense the first flutter of breath within her chest, the tiniest rise and fall like a whispered prayer. Her eyes remain closed for now, resting in the hands that crafted her. Around her, the garden seems to lean in closer, flowers open wider. Birds hush their song, the river's voice softens to a gentle hush. All of creation waits for her first awakening. The Creator looks upon her with eyes full of a love that knows no beginning or end. He whispers blessings into her sleeping spirit, promises of strength, compassion, and a heart forever tethered to his own. Then, with the softest breath, he speaks life into her. Awaken, beloved. Her eyes flutter open, reflecting the first light of a world waiting to be discovered. She inhales slowly, tasting the sweetness of the garden air, the fragrance of blossoms and earth wrapping around her like a cloak of peace. She sits upright, her hair like silk falling over her shoulders, eyes wide with wonder and innocence. For a moment, she is still listening. She hears the stream, the wind weaving through the trees, the distant call of a dove. And deeper still, she hears the quiet hum of Adam's heartbeat, strong and steady, calling to her across the hush of Eden. The Creator smiles, watching his beloved creation rise. He reaches out, offering his hand, and she takes it, her fingers, small yet strong, warmed by his touch. With gentle steps, he guides her through the garden, every flower bending softly toward her as she passes, every branch parting to let her through. You walk beside her, feeling the soft earth underfoot, the cool caress of ferns brushing against your skin. The garden feels more alive now, as if it has been waiting for her all along. You sense the balance, the perfect harmony, two hearts woven from one breath, each echoing the other's gentle rhythm. Ahead, Adam stirs in his sleep, his chest rising and falling with a peace that only trust can bring. The Creator pauses, letting the woman stand at his side, her eyes fixed tenderly upon the man who will be her companion, her equal, her friend. You can almost hear her breath catch a soft exhale of wonder, of recognition, though they have not yet spoken. In her eyes, you see the seeds of hope, devotion, and the quiet courage it will take to walk this garden hand in hand. Soon, the Creator whispers to her, his voice like a soft breeze through the trees. He will wake, and together you will name the stars and tend this sacred earth. But for now, rest in this moment. Feel how the world holds you gently, how my love surrounds you, how you are never alone. And as you stand in the hush of Eden, you breathe with her slow, calm, rooted in a peace that flows deeper than sleep. The garden hums its lullaby once more, and you feel your own soul settle, wrapped in the same gentle promise. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Breathe in, breathe out. Let the garden cradle you tonight. In the hush of the garden, dawn spills its golden light over leaves still kissed with night's dew. You stand at the edge of this new day, watching as the Creator's gentle breath stirs the morning air. Weaving warmth through the shadows, Adam lies peacefully beside the murmuring stream, the earth soft beneath him, his breath slow and steady like a distant drumbeat. Beside him stands the woman Eve, her eyes reflecting the gentle promise of this untouched world. She watches Adam sleep, her heart already tethered to his in a bond neither yet fully understands. The Creator kneels beside them, his presence radiating a love so deep it silences the songs of the birds for a single heartbeat. He places a hand over Adam's chest, feeling the quiet rhythm of the life he gave. Awaken, he whispers. The word is less a command and more a blessing, a breeze that lifts the soul toward the light. Adam's eyes open slowly, blinking away the dream of nothingness. His gaze drifts to the canopy of trees overhead, branches swaying like guardians of this first morning. He breathes in the scent of the garden blossoms, ripe fruit, rich soil, but today something new stirs the air, the presence of another. He feels it before he sees her, a warmth that brushes against his spirit like sunlight breaking through clouds. Slowly he turns his head, and there she is, Eve. She stands bathed in soft light, hair falling over her shoulders like a veil spun from dawn. Her eyes, wide with curiosity, meet his, and in that silent gaze, a river of understanding flows between them. Neither speaks. Words are too small for this sacred meeting. Their souls remember each other, even if their minds do not yet know. How Adam sits up slowly, the grass cool against his skin, his hand reaching out as if to touch a reflection of himself. Eve steps forward, each footfall so gentle it seems the earth rises to meet her. When their fingers finally meet, the garden seems to exhale a soft rustle of leaves. A distant bird's call, the stream's lullaby, all harmonizing with this first touch. You feel it too, the warmth that flows from Adam's hand to Eve's, a spark that binds them, a promise born from the same breath that gave them life. Around them, the garden blooms brighter, flowers opening in a slow dance of color and fragrance. The air is rich with the music of beginnings. The Creator watches them, his eyes soft with delight. Bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh, he whispers. To Adam, his words weaving through the morning light. You are no longer alone. She is your companion, your equal, your beloved. Walk this earth together, tend it with care, and it shall care for you. Adam's lips curve into a smile, one that Eve returns shyly. They stand together now, side by side, their hands still clasped, their hearts echoing the same gentle rhythm that pulses through the streams and the roots and the stars themselves. You stand close, breathing in the holiness of this moment. It feels like standing at the edge of your own beginning, reminded that even in your solitude, you were crafted for connection, for gentle hands that hold yours in the darkness, for eyes that see you and say, you are mine. As the morning unfolds, Adam and Eve take their first steps together. The garden bends lovingly around them, vines parting, branches lifting to cradle the path ahead. Birds sing again, their notes sweet and clear, weaving a song of welcome that dances on the breeze. You follow, barefoot, upon the soft earth, your spirit tethered to theirs by the same breath that whispered life into dust. Feel your chest rise and fall slow, calm, at peace as you walk this first path alongside them. May this new day remind you that even in the quietest night, you are held by the hands that shaped the stars. And as Adam and Eve begin their journey, so do you, step by step, heartbeat by heartbeat, never alone in this garden of light. Morning deepens in Eden, its light filtering through emerald leaves, turning every drop of dew into a tiny prism of gentle wonder. You walk just behind Adam and Eve, your bare feet brushing over the soft grass that shivers awake beneath each step. The air is alive with the fragrance of blossoms unfolding to greet the sun, jasmine, fig, pomegranate. Their sweetness clings to your breath, like a prayer you didn't know you needed. Adam holds Eve's hand in his way. Their fingers interlace naturally, like vines twining around an ancient tree. They pause by a flowering tree heavy with fruit, its branches bent low as if bowing in welcome. The Creator's voice, calm and kind, fills the hush around them. Adam, look around you, he says, his tone as soft as a breeze through orchard leaves. Every creature you see, every tree, every river, call them by name. for in your words they will find their place." Adam nods, his eyes wide with childlike wonder. He walks toward a creature grazing in the shade, a gentle beast with horns that curve like the crescent moon. Adam studies its shape, its strength, its calm eyes. He breathes out ox. The word slips into the world and settles around the animal like a cloak, fitting it perfectly. Eve watches him, her eyes bright with awe. She kneels by a cluster of blossoms, brushing her fingertips over petals softer than silk. "Lily," she whispers, her breath joining his in this dance of giving names. The flowers seem to bloom wider, lifting their faces to the sky as if to thank her. Together they wander deeper into the garden, words flowing from their lips like water from a hidden spring. "Eagle," Adam says, pointing to a bird that soars overhead, its wings brushing the highest currents of air. "River," Eve murmurs, as they step beside the silver ribbon of water that snakes through Eden's heart. You stand with them, feeling each word ripple through you, a reminder that to name something is to see it, to honor its place, to cherish its being. You feel the hush of the garden lean closer, as if listening for its own true name in your breath. The Creator walks among them, his steps leaving no mark yet shaping everything they touch. His eyes are filled with warmth as he watches Adam and Eve, their voices weaving the first language of the earth, a melody that echoes in your soul even now. Adam looks at Eve and smiles, his voice quiet but strong. "Lion," he says, pointing to a great golden creature that lounges beneath a fig tree, its eyes heavy with the soft weight of the morning. The lion lifts its head, meeting Adam's, gaze unafraid, as if recognizing the bond between ruler and guardian. You sense the garden settle into its identity, each leaf and petal vibrating with the gentle power of being known. You breathe in slowly, feeling that same peace wrap around you, an ancient promise that you, too, are named, seen, and loved. As the sun climbs higher, Adam and Eve rest beneath the wide branches of a fig tree. Eve leans against Adam's shoulder, her eyelids fluttering as a warm breeze strokes her cheek. The garden hums softly, a lullaby that soothes the first man and woman into quiet peace. The Creator stands watch, his presence like a warm blanket over the cool grass. His voice whispers into the hush, "What you have named, you shall care for, and what you care for will flourish beneath your hands." You close your eyes with them, your breath steady and deep, your spirit anchored in the truth that even in your smallest moments, your words shape the world around you. Here in Eden, you remember, every whisper matters, every name holds weight, and every heart is known, even yours, from the first light until the last star fades. Rest now. Let the garden sing you into gentle sleep, where the next secret waits to be spoken, softly, by the one who called you by name. You drift through Eden's hush, carried by the scent of fig trees and the soft hum of the river winding through the garden's heart. Adam and Eve stand hand in hand beneath the broad canopy of a great tree, its trunk wide, its branches stretched, like open arms to the sky. Around them, the air is thick with the sweetness of ripening fruit, the sound of leaves whispering secrets to the breeze. The Creator walks with them, his steps leaving ripples of life in the grass that springs greener, where his feet touch. His voice is calm yet full of power, each word sinking deep into the soil, into the hearts he so carefully formed. "Look around you, my beloved children," he says softly, his eyes moving across every bloom, every beast resting in the shade. All of this is yours to tend. You are the keepers of this garden, the ones who will guard its beauty and protect its peace. Adam lifts his eyes, the weight of this promise settling into his bones like warm sunlight sinking into the earth. Beside him, Eve watches the river flow past, its surface catching bits of sky like a mirror. Her fingers brush Adam's, and he squeezes her hand, gently, a silent vow that whatever comes, they will keep this place together. The Creator leads them deeper into the garden, to where two trees stand side by side. One shimmers with fruit that glows like captured starlight, the tree of life pulsing with promise. The other stands in a quiet pool of shadow, its branches heavy with fruit that almost hums with a mystery too vast for words. Eat freely from every tree in this garden, the Creator says, his voice gentle but edged with a gravity that stills the bird song for a moment. But this one, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you must not eat from it, for on the day you taste its fruit, you will surely die. His words settle over them like a soft cloak of warning. Adam's brow furrows slightly, but Eve places her other hand over his, her touch grounding, reminding him they are not alone. The Creator's gaze is not harsh. It is filled with sorrowful love, as if he already feels the fragile lines that separate freedom from downfall. A breeze lifts the leaves around them, carrying the scent of blossoms and fresh earth. You feel it brush your skin, cool and calming, reminding you that wisdom often wears the mask of restraint. In your own heart, you feel the echo of that same choice, the daily promise to guard what is sacred, to walk gently among blessings that must be cherished, not conquered. Adam looks at Eve and then back at the Creator, his voice quiet but steady. We will keep this garden as you have asked. We will care for every living thing, and we will remember your words. The Creator smiles, his eyes warm as sunlight. He lifts a hand and touches Adam's shoulder, then Eve's cheek, his presence, radiating a peace that seeps into their bones, into yours. You are never alone, he says softly, a promise not just for them, but for you. Too, a promise whispered to every beating heart that longs for guidance in a world of choices. When you wake, I am there. When you sleep, I watch over you. In the silence, I am your breath. In your dreams, I am the keeper of your peace. You stand beside them, feeling the hush of the garden settle back into its gentle song. Birds resume their melodies, the river flows on, and the distant roar of a lion echoes like a drumbeat of wild freedom. All of it held in the same hands that hold you even now. As Adam and Eve walk away from the trees, their fingers interlaced, the garden parts before them like a story yet to be told. You follow, your steps soft on the warm earth, your breath slow and steady, carrying this promise in your own heart. You are a keeper, too, of words, of choices, of sacred places within your soul that must remain tended with care. Breathe in the peace of this truth. Breathe out the burdens you do not need to carry tonight. Rest now in the garden's embrace, held by the one who keeps you always. You drift deeper into the garden's heart, where sunlight weaves golden threads through leaves that sway like 1,000 gentle prayers. Adam and Eve walk side by side, their fingers lightly entwined, bare feet brushing over earth that feels softer than any bed you've ever known. Every step they take awakens the grass beneath them. Tiny blades bow in greeting, bending toward the warmth of their touch. The Creator walks with them. His presence is not distant or hidden. He moves among them like a father walking with his children in the hush of the evening. His footsteps leave behind a hush so deep You feel it settle in your chest, calming your breath, easing your mind into this sacred stillness. They reach a meadow alive with color. Flowers in every hue sway in a dance only they know. Bees drift lazily from bloom to bloom, their hum a lullaby weaving through the garden's quiet song. Adam kneels to brush his hand across the petals, marveling at their softness, at how icily beauty blooms in a place untouched by fear. Eve stands a few paces away, her eyes lifted to the sky where birds wheel and glide in effortless freedom. She laughs softly, the first sound of pure delight that drifts through Eden like a new breeze. The Creator turns to her, his eyes kind, his smile radiant with a love that holds no shadow. "What do you see, my daughter?" he asks. "I see the sky," she whispers, her voice like the rustle of leaves. "And I feel free." The Creator's laughter is gentle thunder, warm and close. "That freedom is my gift to you both," he says. "This place, this peace, it lives in you as much as it lives around you. Walk it daily, and you will always find your way home." Adam rises, taking Eve's hand again. Together they move deeper into the meadow, their shadows falling long in the golden light. They pause beside a clear pool, water so still it mirrors the clouds drifting above. Eve kneels at its edge, cupping her hands to drink. The water slips through her fingers like silk, cool and sweet, quenching a thirst she didn't know she carried. You kneel beside her, your reflection wavering in the pool's calm surface. In it, you see more than your face. You see the part of you that longs for this stillness, this closeness with the one who made you. The Creator's reflection shimmers beside yours, his presence a promise. "I walk with you still." A soft breeze stirs the trees, carrying the scent of wild figs and blossoms. You breathe it in, feeling it settle deep in your chest, reminding you that you, too, are part of this sacred design, a living thread woven into a tapestry that began with dust and breath. As the sun leans toward the horizon, Adam and Eve rise, their laughter gentle, their steps light. They do not hurry. There is no rush here, no burden of time pressing at their shoulders. Each heartbeat is a prayer, each breath a blessing. The Creator's voice drifts through the hush like a melody only the soul can hear. "Walk with me, and you will know peace. Trust in me, and you will never walk alone." And you believe it, because here, in this garden of first light and endless promise, you feel your own soul rise to meet his words. You feel the path beneath your feet, soft, warm, alive. You feel your spirit lighten as you take each step beside them, closer to the one who holds your every tomorrow. Breathe in this freedom. Breathe out your worry. Tonight, let this garden walk with you into your dreams, where the voice of the Creator still whispers, "You are mine." Night drapes its velvet over Eden, yet the garden does not grow dark. Instead, it glows softly with a light that seems to rise from the earth itself, a quiet radiance woven into each leaf, each petal, each breath. You stand at the edge of a clearing where Adam and Eve rest beneath the boughs of a towering fig tree, its broad leaves shielding them like the wings of an angel. Crickets hum their evening song, blending with the murmur of the stream nearby. Eve leans against Adam's shoulder, her eyes half closed as the warmth of the day lingers on her skin. Adam's fingers trace lazy patterns in the grass, each movement a wordless prayer of gratitude. Yet somewhere beyond this hush, another presence moves, soft, deliberate, unseen among the vines and shadows. A rustle here, a glint of eyes reflecting. Starlight there. You feel it before you see it. A slithering curiosity winding its way through the garden's perfect calm. The serpent is beautiful. Its scales shimmering with a light that mimics the garden's glow. Its eyes bright with knowing. It coils around a low branch near the forbidden tree, hidden just beyond the sleeping couple. Its tongue flickers, tasting the sweetness of innocence that hangs in the air like ripe fruit. Eve stirs. Opening her eyes to the soft rustle, she lifts. Her head, blinking sleep from her lashes, and her gaze falls upon the serpent. Its form coiled like a question waiting for an answer. She rises quietly, careful not to wake Adam, and steps lightly through the grass, drawn by something she cannot name. You walk beside her, the hush of the garden pressing close, as if the trees themselves lean in to hear this first whisper of doubt. The serpent watches her, its voice curling into the shadows, before it even speaks aloud, an idea, subtle and silken, brushing against her thoughts. Did God really say? The question does not yet pass its lips, but you feel it settle in the air like a chill. A thread of curiosity weaving into the warm blanket of trust she has worn until now. Eve pauses at the base of the tree. Its fruit glows faintly under the moon's soft gaze, each orb heavy with secrets it was never meant to share. She reaches out, not to touch, but to feel the nearness, the forbidden hum that calls to the deepest part of her hunger for more. You feel it too, that old ache. To know, to understand, to hold what seems just beyond reach. And yet, beneath it, you sense the Creator's voice still echoing in her spirit. Not this, not yet, not ever. But the serpent's presence stirs the silence, pokes holes in certainty, and plants a seed of restless wonder. The breeze picks up, lifting strands of Eve's hair from her shoulders, carrying the scent of the fruit to her nose, sweet, intoxicating, like the promise of something that will make her more than she is. The serpent waits, patient, its eyes never leaving hers, its smile hidden in the curl of its tongue. You stand close enough to feel her breath catch in her throat, close enough to want to reach for her hand, to guide her back to Adam's resting side, to the hush of trust that once held her like a cradle. But you are only witness here, standing on the edge of the choice that will echo through generations. In the shadows, the garden seems to hold its breath, the flowers still, the rivers, song muffled beneath the weight of an unspoken question. Even the stars blink slower, as if reluctant to see what may come. And in this moment, you remember your own quiet temptations, the small whispers that slip through the cracks when the night is long and the hush is deep. You feel the old pull, to reach for what was never meant to be yours, and the soft sorrow of a heart that knows how fragile obedience can be. Eve's fingers hover just above the fruit, trembling. The serpent's eyes gleam, its voice still yet to break the silence. But you know the question is ready, a question that will become a choice. You draw a slow, steady breath, letting this garden's hush remind you, not every whisper is worthy of your trust. Not every promise that glitters is wrapped in truth. And in the spaces where shadows linger, you are never alone, the keeper still watches. Even when your heart trembles, stay here, in this quiet, breathing in the lessons hidden in the shade. And when sleep finds you tonight, let the garden's hush hold you close, a reminder that your spirit is known, guarded, and never beyond the reach of grace. Morning creeps into the garden, soft as a sigh, yet the hush that once wrapped Eden in perfect peace feels strained now, stretched thin like silk tugged at its edges. You stand near the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, where shadows clings stubbornly to the roots, curling round Eve's bare feet. She stands before the serpent, its coils draped lazily along a low branch. Its eyes gleam with a glint that mimics innocence. But there is a cunning there too, a cunning older than the first dawn. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? The serpent's voice curls out at last, sly as mist, slipping through stones. Its words land softly in Eve's mind, wrapping around her doubts like vines around a trunk. Eve's fingers brush against the fruit's smooth skin. Her breath catches in her throat as she replies, her voice uncertain, yet still gentle. We may eat from the trees, but God said we must not eat from this one, nor touch it, or we will die. The serpent shifts closer, its scales whispering against the bark. It tilts its head, words dripping like honey but stinging like hidden thorns. You will not surely die, it murmurs, each word sinking into the tender soil of her thoughts. For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, you will be like him, knowing good and evil. You feel Eve's heartbeat quicken. It echoes faintly in your own chest, that ancient ache for more, for secrets unlocked, for a piece of eternity held in trembling hands. Her gaze drifts from the serpent's eyes to the fruit, now glowing softly in the dappled morning light. It looks harmless, beautiful, even like something that was always meant to be tasted. Behind her, Adam stirs in the distance, unaware of the choice blooming like a storm inside her soul. You want to reach out, to whisper caution, but you are only witness here, a breath caught between what is and what will be. Eve plucks the fruit gently. For a heartbeat, the garden holds its breath. A bird hushes mid-song. The breeze stalls. Among the fig leaves, the river's song muffles into silence. Even the serpent stills, its eyes fixed on the prize it never needed to touch itself. She lifts the fruit to her lips, and for a moment, you see her eyes flicker with wonder and fear all at once. Her teeth sink in, the skin breaks, juice runs. Down her fingers, sweet as temptation, sharp as the first cut. Eve chews slowly, the taste flooding her senses, strange, new, both sweet and bitter all at once. She swallows, and a shiver passes through her, a knowing she can't yet name but feels settle into her bones. Adam approaches now, drawn by her voice, her eyes that look somehow different, open in a way they weren't before. She hands him the fruit with hands that tremble. He hesitates, searching her face for the promise of safety, for the echo of trust they have always shared. You watch as Adam lifts the fruit, his eyes locked on hers, and for a heartbeat you sense the weight of his choice, a heart pulled not by hunger for knowledge, but by fear of losing her. And then he bites. The juice stains his lips, a mark of the moment when the hush of Eden breaks forever. Around you, the garden shudders. The breeze that once carried songs of life now rustles the leaves with an uneasy sigh. Flowers droop under the sudden heaviness in the air. The river's clear song twists into a low, mournful hum. Adam and Eve stand together, hand in hand, but something between them has shifted. A thin veil lifted, a gentle trust cracked open. Their eyes dart to the world around them, noticing their own nakedness for the first time, shame blooming like thorns in a rose garden once only tender. You feel it too. The hush now pierced by a truth that knowledge can wound as deeply as it frees. And yet, within this fracture, you hear the faintest promise that not all is lost. A heartbeat in the hush, a whisper that mercy will one day walk among this broken earth to mend what was undone here. Stay with them in this fragile moment. Breathe. Slow, even as the garden trembles. Hold this truth gently in your own heart. Even when the bite is taken, when innocence splinters, grace is already on its way. A hush falls over Eden like a veil torn in two. Where once the garden sang with gentle winds and the soft murmur of trust, now there is a different hush, heavy, fragile, trembling at the edges. You stand close enough to feel Adam and Eve's breath quicken, their eyes darting across the trees that once sheltered them like a cradle of love. They look at each other, and though their hands still touch, something stands between them now. An invisible wall, woven from the threads of knowing. Their eyes no longer see only innocence reflected back. Instead, they see the raw, tender wound of shame. Adam lifts a hand to his chest, startled by the warmth of skin now laid bare under the bright gaze of the garden. Eve pulls her hair round her shoulders, trying to cover herself from the eyes of the birds, the rustle of the vines, the breath of the Creator who still walks among the branches. Together they crouch near the fig tree, hands trembling as they pull broad leaves from the branches. Their fingers fumble with the stems, weaving coverings with clumsy urgency, as if a strip of green could hide a heart laid open by disobedience. You feel the gardens hush around them, shift the trees, that once bent lovingly now stand tall and watchful, their shadows longer, deeper. The river that once giggled over stones now murmurs with a note of sorrow, as if it too feels the fracture running through this perfect place. And then the sound of footsteps, slow, steady, familiar. The one who made them calls out, his voice carrying through the branches like a question wrapped in mercy. Adam, where are you? You feel the weight of the question settle into the soil, into your chest, into every hidden corner where you've ever tried to cover yourself. Adam presses, his back to the fig tree, his voice cracking as he calls out, I heard you in the garden and I was afraid. Because I was naked, so I hid. His words tremble in the hush, each syllable heavy with the taste of shame. Eve presses closer to him, her eyes brimming with confusion and fear. For the first time, they feel the chill of distance from the one who breathed life into their bones. The Creator's voice comes again, calm, yet carrying the weight of a sorrow that only love can hold. Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from? Adam's gaze drops to the earth, the soil that once welcomed him like a mother's embrace. His voice stumbles out, the woman you gave me. She gave me the fruit, and I ate. Beside him, Eve's breath hitches. Her fingers clutch at the leaves that cover her, though they do nothing to shield the ache in her heart. Her eyes lift toward the serpent, coiled smugly among the roots, its eyes glinting with a cruel triumph. Her words come like a whisper torn. From a dream, the serpent deceived me, and I ate. And so the truth unfurls like a scroll, written with trembling hands across the hush of Eden. The bite, the choice, the veil of shame that now drapes over hearts that once knew only perfect trust. Yet in this sorrow, you sense the faintest pulse of hope, a heartbeat beneath the hush, reminding you that the one who calls, "Where are you?" is not a voice of wrath alone, but of relentless mercy. You feel it as you stand beside them, the same presence that shaped them, from dust still reaches for them in their hiding. The same breath that filled their lungs does not abandon them now. You draw a long, slow breath in, then out, and you remember, shame cannot build a wall too high for love to cross. Even in the garden's deepest shadows, the keeper's voice still calls your name, asking you to come out from hiding and stand, trembling but known, in the light of grace. Rest here a moment. Let the hush remind you. You are seen, you are loved. And even when you cover yourself in leaves, His mercy finds you. In the cool hush beneath the fig tree, you stand close as the weight of what's been done settles over the garden like a heavy mist. Adam and Eve stand together, clutching their coverings of leaves as if they could hide the truth stitched into their hearts. The serpent slithers among the roots, eyes bright with a victory it does not fully understand. The Creator's presence fills the space, not with the warmth of morning sunlight, but with a gravity that humbles even the oldest trees. His voice comes not as thunder, but as a gentle mourning, each word weaving a tapestry of consequence that will echo far beyond Eden's gates. He turns first to the serpent, his gaze deep as the rivers that carve the garden's veins. Because you have done this, he says, the words settling into the earth. Cursed are you above all livestock and wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life. The serpent's scales shift uneasily, its once proud form shrinking into the shadows. The hush carries the promise that it will never again rise above the dust it mocked then. The Creator's eyes turn to Eve. You see her flinch, not from anger, but from the sorrow reflected back. At her, a mirror of her own regret. His voice is tender yet unyielding, like the edge of a blade that cuts only to heal. I will greatly increase your pains in childbearing. With pain you will give birth to life. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. Eve lowers her head, a single tear slipping down her cheek to dampen the earth. Yet beneath the sorrow you sense a quiet strength awakening, a knowing that though her pain will be great, so too will her courage be unshakable. For through her life will always find a way to bloom, even in soil cracked by sorrow. Finally, the Creator's eyes meet Adam's. The first man shifts his weight, shame burning on his skin like the midday sun. He grips Eve's hand tightly, as if to draw comfort from the warmth that still lingers between them. Because you listened and ate from the tree, the Creator says, the ground is now cursed because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles, and by the sweat of your brow, you will bring forth your bread until you return to the dust from which you came. Adam's shoulders sink under the weight of these words, yet you see him pull Eve closer. Even as the hush thickens with loss, their joined hands whisper a promise. They will face this exile together. You feel the garden shudder, vines trembling, petals folding in upon themselves, as if to mourn the innocence now shed like the skin of a serpent. Yet within this sorrow, a seed of hope glows faintly, a promise the Creator plants like a spark in the ashes. His voice, softer now, drifts through the hush like a lullaby for wounded hearts. One day, the offspring of the woman will crush the serpent's head. Though it strikes your heel, you will overcome. And in those words, you hear the first echo of grace, the blueprint of a love that will one day walk among thorns and dust to mend what was broken beneath these ancient branches. Adam and Eve stand together in the hush that follows, their breath trembling but their eyes locked on each other. In their silence, you feel the fragile heartbeat of a new beginning, not the one they dreamed of, but one that still hums with the Creator's presence. Stay here a moment, breathing slowly with them. Let the hush hold you as it holds them, wrapped in consequence, yet warmed by a promise that even from dust, life will rise again. In this garden of thorns and hope, remember, you are never beyond the reach of the one who weaves mercy into every sorrow. The hush of Eden settles like a sigh over the trembling leaves. You stand close as Adam and Eve lower their heads, their makeshift coverings of fig leaves clinging awkwardly to their skin. Their eyes search the ground, searching for a place to hide from the weight of what they've become. But the Creator does not turn away. Instead, he steps closer, his presence warm as dawn after the longest night. His eyes hold no cruel anger, only the deep, sorrowful ache of a father who sees his children's shame and will not leave them naked in it. He kneels beside them, gathering the skins of an animal, soft and warm. You feel the garden hush deepen. Even the wind stills, sensing something sacred in this act. For the first time, the price of covering shame comes with the hush of sacrifice. A life given so that theirs may be clothed. You watch as he wraps Adam in a tunic of soft hide, its weight comforting on trembling shoulders. Over Eve, he drapes another, the fur brushing her skin, shielding her from the bite of the wind that now drifts through Eden's gates. His hands are gentle, tucking the coverings close, smoothing hair from Eve's tear-streaked face. Adam stands a little taller, the edge of raw fear softened by this gesture of mercy stitched into the fabric that now clings to his skin. Even here, the Creator whispers, his voice low, carrying through the hush like a balm for wounded spirits. My love will clothe you. My mercy will follow you beyond these gates. You feel the garden tremble, vines curling tighter around tree trunks as if mourning the goodbye about to be spoken. The river hums a low, sorrowful tune, not an ending, but a lullaby for a new kind of wandering. Adam reaches for Eve's hand, fingers threading together, stronger than fig leaves, stronger than fear. Their eyes lift to the path that winds through the garden's heart, the path that will lead them out, away from the hush of perfection, into a world of dust, toil, and thorn. Yet even now, the hush hums with a promise. They do not go alone. The Creator walks with them, not in the garden's daily strolls as before, but in every heartbeat, every breath, every prayer uttered in the dark. You stand beside them, your own spirit wrapped in that same truth, that when shame leaves you, trembling, mercy is there to clothe you. When the garden gates close, grace still finds you in the wilderness beyond. The hush drifts with you as Adam and Eve take their first steps away from Eden's blooming walls. The grass that once sprang up to greet their feet now rustles underfoot, a soft farewell woven into every blade. Above, the sky remains bright, but its brightness feels different now, not cruel, but honest. A reminder that from this broken soil, new life will one day rise, that the offspring promised will one day crush the serpent's head, and with it, every shame that coils itself around your heart. Breathe with them as they step forward. Feel the hush linger on your skin like a blessing stitched into every thread of your story. You are clothed, you are seen, you are never alone, even beyond the gates. The garden breathes a long, mournful sigh as Adam and Eve stand at its edge, the place where light and shadow mingle like a last goodbye. You stand close enough to hear their quiet breaths, each exhale tasting of both sorrow and something softer, to a fragile hope that clings to them like the fur garments on their shoulders. Behind them, Eden shimmers in the early light, trees bending beneath the weight of untouched fruit, rivers gliding over polished stones, flowers opening. To the sun they can no longer walk beneath without the hush of guilt. It remains beautiful, yet its gates have become a boundary drawn not by anger, but by mercy, to guard what must wait for redemption. You see them look back one last time, Adam's hand resting on Eve's back, Eve's fingers brushing his wrist as if to steady her steps. Their eyes linger on the paths they named, the animals that once nuzzled close without fear. The hush carries their memories like seeds drifting on the breeze, scattering life into a world that will bloom wild and thorny all at once. At the threshold, a figure stands, an angel radiant, with a light that hums like a burning star. In his hand, a flaming sword turns slowly, weaving a wall of fire that no soul can pass. Its glow does not burn the grass, but wraps the gate in a promise. Eden will not be defiled further, and yet its hush will echo in the hearts that remember. Adam lifts his eyes, meeting the angel's steady gaze. There is no hatred there, only the fierce tenderness of a guardian who knows the weight of what he must keep. Eve presses closer to Adam, leaning into his warmth as the chill of the unknown brushes against her skin. The Creator's presence moves with them still, not in the form of evening walks under fig trees, but in the quiet hush that will now dwell within their chests. A voice that will speak in dreams, in storms, in whispers through generations yet to come. You feel it too, the hush that lives in you. The promise that even when gates close, grace does not fade. It walks beside you into every wilderness, every barren place, every patch of earth that seems too cursed to bloom. Adam and Eve step forward, the grass crunching underfoot as they leave the only home they have ever known. The hush of the garden remains behind, yet its heartbeat goes with them, the pulse of a plan sown in the soil of brokenness, one that will bloom one day in the shape of a cross, a seed of life buried in dust yet rising unbound. You stand with them at the threshold. The gate glows behind you, beautiful, distant, guarded by flame and wing. Ahead lies a world waiting to be tilled, named, redeemed. It will not be easy, it will not be perfect, but they do not walk alone, and neither do you. Draw a slow, steady breath. Let the hush of Eden rest in your chest like a lamp kept burning through the longest night. When gates close behind you, remember, the Keeper walks before you, beside you, within you. Hope remains woven into every step away from what was lost, carrying you gently toward what will one day be restored. The hush that once wrapped Eden now trails behind Adam and Eve like a fading melody, each note dissolving into the open world ahead. You stand beside them as they step away from the garden's glowing gate, the flaming sword now a distant shimmer, a reminder of what was, and what still waits like an echo of home. The earth beyond Eden feels different, beneath their feet, rougher, colder, each blade of grass carrying the bite of thorns yet to grow. Adam's eyes scan the horizon, tracing the curves of hills that roll away into a future neither of them can yet see. Eve's breath trembles in the cool dawn, but her hand finds his, fingers threading through his like roots, seeking soil. There, fur garments brush their skin, a constant reminder of mercy stitched into the loss. The hush they once knew outside them now beats inside a small ember of the Creator's promise, glowing in the secret chambers of their hearts. They move forward, step by careful step, learning the rhythm of this new life, each breath a choice, to trust each heartbeat a quiet vow, not to let the silence swallow them whole. You walk with them, feeling the earth shift beneath your feet, uneven but alive, a testament that even in exile, life still takes root above. The sky opens wide, a canvas yet unpainted by storms and tears and sunrises that will come and go. A breeze carries the scent of distant forests, of places they will discover, name, and tend with hands that now know the weight of work. The same hands that reached for forbidden fruit will now plant seeds, pull weeds, cradle children yet unborn. You see it in Eve's eyes, a flicker of resolve beneath the sorrow. an ember of strength that will carry her through labor pains, and the quiet ache of remembering what she lost. You hear it in Adam's steady steps, the way he leans into the wind, chest lifted like a prayer that rises not in words, but in the simple act of moving forward. They do not look back anymore. The hush behind them has become a promise inside them, a whisper that one day the gates will open again, not to a garden of figs and rivers, but to a new creation where no sword will guard the way. You walk with them a little longer, the air cool and crisp around your shoulders. You feel the hush settle over you like a cloak, reminding you that you, too, carry Eden's echo inside your bones. That you, too, are clothed in mercy, even when the wilderness feels too vast, too thorny, too far from home. And as Adam and Eve find a place to rest, a patch of earth that will soon hold seeds and tears, and hope, you stand near enough to hear their breathing calm. You see Adam press his palm to the ground, as if to claim it gently. You see Eve lay her head on his shoulder, her eyes drifting closed, her spirit leaning into the hush that says, even here you are not alone. Let your own breath slow with theirs now. Feel the hush bloom within you like a garden no sword can guard, no exile can edase. You walk forward not toward perfection, but toward a promise that every wilderness will one day give way to a garden renewed. Stay here a moment longer. Breathe deep. Let the hush cradle you. Tomorrow will come, and with it, the work and wonder of a life tended step by step, hand in hand, heart by fragile, faithful heart. May you walk gently through the wilderness that lies beyond your garden gates. May the hush of Eden, once lost, echo softly within your chest, a reminder that you are never beyond the reach of the one who clothed your shame with mercy. May your hands find strength to tend what is yours to tend, and your heart find rest even when the thorns grow thick around your feet. When the night is long and the hush feels far away, may you remember the breath that first stirred the dust to life, still moves through you now, quiet as a prayer, steady as a promise. May the keeper who guards the gates stand watch over your sleep tonight. May his presence cradle you in every shadow and every sunrise, until the day all gates swing wide again, and you stand once more in a garden where shame is no more. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and give you peace, until morning comes, and you rise renewed.